Welcome to A Moment in Time with Taylor. We are going to be doing our final section of this book by Dr. Ray Long called The Key Poses of Yoga. John, I'm still not in goth makeup. I think I'm having to do Freaky Friday, so tomorrow I'll go all gothed out. So this is the book. Hello, boss. Please don't call me cutie. I am happily married and I want to keep everything platonic, but congratulations, you were the first comment of this broadcast, and you're here for the very end of this book that we're working on. We're going to do these 4 poses. These are all restorative poses. Balasana, child's pose, legs up the wall, Viparita Karani, supported Setu Bandha Sarvangasana, supported bridge pose, and Shavasana, corpse pose. And then we'll do a meditation at the end. And all these poses are really, really good for meditation, and they are great for relaxation, getting rid of stress, helping you to digest. Yes, I am married. Hey, Nick. So this is Balasana, child's pose. Aw, John, I'm sorry. Okay. Well, thanks for watching my replays. Balasana is a resting pose that can be used anytime one feels fatigue during practice. Now keep in mind, I have a lot of clients that don't really like this pose. It's too much on their knees or their hips or their back, so only do what you feel comfortable with. Don't do anything that causes you pain or discomfort. It gently relaxes the muscles of the front of the body while passively stretching the muscles of the back. Hey, Dusty. This action releases the internal organs forward and opens the back of the thorax and lungs. My purpose on Periscope is to increase positivity in as many lives as possible to help people reach their health, wealth, and relationship goals. So what's interesting is that there's really nothing muscular engaged here, so we can just do the pose. Oh my gosh, Nick, you read it. You totally read it. I'm just kidding. Can you do a video about spirituality? I don't believe in spirituality, actually. But you could do a video about that. And if you want me to do a video about anything, you would go to femyoga.com, sponsor the channel, and I cater my content to my sponsors. Nick is one of my sponsors. Nikki Sparkles is one of my sponsors. Physical preparation before practicing yoga. Honestly, you would do yoga poses as warm-ups. You would do gentle poses first, and this is a perfect example of one of those. So I'm going to go ahead and get down on the mat. Ooh. Try not to break everything. And we start out on hands and knees. And we can do a little warm-up here. One of the most common warm-ups that you'll see practiced in yoga is cat-cow. So I'll actually just turn sideways really quick so you can see the movement of the spine. I have my fingers spread wide, thumbs are relaxed, rolling my shoulders down away from my ears, looking straight down, shoulders are over the wrists. Hips are over the knees, looking straight down for table pose, or all fours position. And then on an inhale, you'll drop the belly and lift the tailbone. Pull your heart forward and up, look up. Exhale, round the spine. Tuck your tailbone, tuck your chin towards your chest, stretch the back, and just keep flowing like that. Make sure that your elbow creases are facing each other. Stretching the front and back of the body. This is a great way to massage all the discs and vertebrae of the spine. And just keep flowing like that with your own breath. You don't have to worry about being synchronized with me. We'll just do a few more like that. One more, inhale and exhale. And then inhale yourself back to center. Bring your big toes together and open your knees about the distance of the mat. Send your hips back as far as you're comfortable towards your heels, so that's the most important part, and then allow your body to come forward. So if your hips want to lift up off of your heels for your head to come down, don't worry about that. Keep those hips back, and then you're going to support your head, maybe just by bending the elbows and supporting. You can also use pillows, yoga blocks. there's a lot of different options. And if you can, release all the way into it for 5 deep breaths. Typically with restorative yoga poses, we would hold the pose for 5 minutes each. And then you'll lift your elbows up, bring the hands back under the shoulders, knees back under the hips for tabletop pose. And actually, while I teach this next pose, excuse me, you might just want to stay right in child's pose, or you can work on more cat-cow. And the next pose from our book here is supported bridge pose, supported Setu Bandhasana. Hey, Shakzon, thanks for the super hearts. I appreciate the sparkles. Making it float, that's what we call it, making it float, making it float. All right. In Setu Bandha Sarvangasana, supporting the lower back and tailbone with a block results in an exquisite restorative pose. This is a form of inversion since the head is below the heart in a relaxed position. Persons who cannot perform a headstand or shoulder stand can derive many of the same benefits of these inversions by doing this pose. Hey, babe. Yeah, so a yoga block basically brings the ground closer to you, typically. You like this one, Rick? Good. A lot of people like this. A lot of people with hip pain, back pain, they love bridge pose. So if you don't have a yoga block, you can still do this pose without the block. But I do have one, so I'm just going to grab one to demonstrate with. But again, you don't need this. You can still practice this posture. So you'll start out laying on your back with your knees bent, feet on the earth. Tuck your shoulder blades back behind you, opening up the chest, and then engage your core so that your low back is pressing towards the mat. Sorry, I have cramps today. I'm feeling it right now. So this pose will actually be really, really good for me because it's going to stretch out the front of my body and my uterus. So I'm going to bring, excuse me, my hands down by my sides, palms down. Inhale. And exhale, press into the feet, lift the hips up towards the sky. And you want to keep your chin away from your chest. Keep your neck off of the ground, so you're just on your shoulders and the back of your head. And this is bridge pose, so you can just stay there. Keep your knees over your ankles. And then if you want to use the block, you can sneak it under your hips and just find the level that feels good for you. So the highest level is quite a back bend, and that's what they're showing in the book. I would never really have a client come into this with the block unless they were really, really flexible with their back bends. So remember, the block can be used at different levels, so you can also put it down at this level instead of the tallest where it was at. And then what you're doing is you're putting that block pretty much right where your tailbone is. And you want to keep a lot of space in your spine, so always be moving your hips towards your feet as you adjust yourself. For 5 breaths, wherever you're comfortable. And remember, you can lower down early, especially if you're having any pain or discomfort. You're just going to lower your heels towards your feet. Long, long spine. And And then to come out, you press into the feet, lifting the hips up. Pull your block out. Hands come back to the mat, palms down, and then you lower those hips towards the feet. And if it feels good after that, you might bring your knees into your chest, bring a lot of space into your low back, but be easy. Don't do anything that causes pain or discomfort. Actually, while I'm down here, I'm going to show you a brief introduction to the next pose, because the next pose is up against the wall. We talked about it, I think, just last night in my yoga scope. So if you have a block, you can do, well, actually, even without the block, you can do this next posture by just lifting the legs straight up. This is just legs up, okay, rather than legs up a wall. And you can also do legs up the block. So you would do the same thing we just did, where you would come into your supported bridge pose with the lowest side, the lowest edge of the block. And make sure you're really nice and supported and comfortable there. And then, when you feel ready, you can do legs up the block. So if for some reason you're having difficulty finding wall space, like I often do in this house, you could try this one instead, or if you're in a crowded yoga class and there's not enough space on the wall, you can do this one. And then to come out, you just bend the knees, lower the feet, come back into your bridge pose. Again, pulling my hips towards my feet. Removing the block, and again, lowering my hips towards the feet. Make sure you don't have any wardrobe malfunctions. Boom. And then I'll show you the pictures for the next one, and we'll get into the next posture. Let me catch up with comments here. Bridge to wheel to headstand. No. Okay. I think I might have not checked comments on the last one. You exhale when go down in posture before. Oh, you don't have any bubbles, yeah. 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. What are you talking about, your work? Okay. Next pose. Hey, Norm. Just doing some yoga. What's up with you? Hey. What? You say I have a big head? That guy say I have a big head? No. He said I have a big something else. Not head. Okay. So, no yoga for you? That's okay. Oh, hey, Kara. I'll see you in the club tonight, girl. Maybe tomorrow morning? Okay, I won't be teaching it tomorrow morning, but I will have my replay up still. So this is Viparita Karani, legs up the wall pose. In Viparita Karni, it says here, the hips flex and the knees extend to rest the legs against a wall. The pose can also be performed away from the wall, resting the pelvis on a block, like I just showed you. The abdomen is passive and resembles a lake. What? The backs of the legs passively stretch and the hip flexors relax. Viparita Karani has cardiovascular effects that are similar to other inversions, including increased return of blood to the heart and activation of the parasympathetic nervous system by the carotid and aortic baroreceptors. As such, it is a useful alternative for practitioners with cervical spine problems who do not wish to practice headstand or shoulder stand. Hey, South Jersey. Here's another image of it. Okay. Let's see if there's any other images. No, that is our... Oh, wait, yeah, no. There's one more pose after that. Okay. Let's do it. You like the anatomy? Good, I'm glad. Oh, you're glad to see me back? Good, me too. So I'm going to come up against the wall. Now, you can do this without anything under your tush. So if you don't have you could just use like a couch pillow or something. If you really don't have anything, you don't have to use anything. I usually don't actually like having anything under my low back, but I have a lot of people who really, they can't even do this pose without something under them. So we'll see how this goes. Could probably move you a little closer so you can hear me. We'll go about this far. You took anatomy and physiology in high school. Nice. Very nice. All right. Hey, Wes. How's it going? So, if you do have a pillow or a bolster, this is actually a yoga bolster if you want to look for it online. I have a cat. So if you look up yoga bolsters online, the best price I've seen for one was like 25 bucks, and that's what I got this for. But I think I had to buy two to get that price. Maybe not. No, maybe not. I think it was on Amazon for 25 bucks. If you want one of these, they're very, very useful in yoga practice. So for this one, the way that you would use this, and this is a little big for me, so I'll decide whether or not I actually want to stay on this, but at least I can demonstrate it the way they're showing in the book. But because I'm so little, this might be too much for me, but if you have bigger hips, a bigger tush, if you're just a bigger person in general, this will probably be fine for you. So the way you start out is by sitting on either your blanket, your pillow, your block, whatever it may be that you're sitting on, and you want to get the side of your tush up against the wall. It's going to help you get into it a little easier. Then this part's the really awkward part before the amazing deliciousness of the pose. So this part's a little awkward because you have to lay on your side and back your tush up into the wall. I'm actually going to just back up a little bit so I don't kick the door. So I'm going to go onto my side, I'm going to kind of press into my hands and arms and push my butt into the wall, okay, to make sure, like really push it against the wall as much as you can, and then keep it glued to the wall and swing yourself on up. Make sure you don't fall off your prop. See, my tush isn't against the wall, which is probably just because this prop is so big that my body is like having a really hard time staying on it. But you want to, if you can, have your tush against the wall. We'll take 5 deep breaths. This is also great for preventing varicose veins and edema or swelling of the lower extremities, DVT, deep vein thrombosis, and just plain old sore, achy legs and feet. So while you're doing this posture, you can hold this posture for 5 minutes, really however long you're comfortable. And it's normal for the feet to feel cold. However, you don't want the feet to start feeling like they're falling asleep. And this goes with any pose. If you feel one of your body parts feel tingly like they're falling asleep, that's the sensation of not having enough blood flow to the area. And it's really easy to fix. You would just bend your knees, bringing your feet back down towards your hips to get the blood flow back. And then if you want to come back into the pose, you just lift your legs right on back up. But I'm going to come out since we're done now. And when you come out of this pose, you'll scooch off of your prop and just lay on one side with your lower arm as a pillow. And usually, depending on how long you held the pose, you would want to hold this, at least 20% of the time that you are up there. So if you hold it for 5 minutes, you'll want to lay down here for at least a minute. And you'll feel the blood flowing back into your legs and feet. And you just want to give it a little while to make sure you're not trying to bear weight on your legs and feet too early. Take your time. You'll gently press yourself up when you're done. And find a cat. Okay. So let's meditate, shall we? I can't stop watching him either. Trust me, I know that feeling. Okay, Rick, so a good rule of thumb, that's an excellent question. I almost stepped on my cat. An excellent, excellent question. Rick asked, what do you recommend for breathing techniques with the poses? So for me, what I was taught and what I think is a really good way to think of it is when you inhale, you back bend. So you'll notice when I inhale deeply, it kind of lifts my rib cage and my diaphragm expands. So my body naturally wants to go this way and stretch back this way. Where when I exhale, hang on, and then exhale, you'll see that my ribs are tucking down, so it's more natural for me to round. So if you're rounding, you're typically exhaling, and if you're expanding and opening, you're typically inhaling. Yeah, me and you probably got there at the same time, Drake. I caught the very end of his cat scope today, too. I think that was probably for Sarah. Oh, thank you, Sean. Thank you. I didn't know if we were going to do that tonight. I only had 42 minutes left of content, and I feel like the matchmaking scope is going to have to be at least an hour. So you said you're not going to be able to do this weekend, right? Just tell me when you're free again, Sean, and we'll get it done. It'll be fun. I'm excited. I'll plan it out more in advance, too. So let me check comments, and then we'll meditate. Oh, you're welcome, Rick. Oh, what did that guy say? Open your belly more. Falling asleep. All you need is Flash to talk you to sleep. Okay, let's be honest here. Flash is not good at putting people to sleep because I woke up at 9 a.m. and I saw that he had done that at 4 a.m. and I was just like waking up just to go to the bathroom. I was going to go back to sleep. No, I wasn't asleep, but I'm about to potentially. I'll be meditating and everyone's going to say that I'm asleep. Hi, Steve. So I turned that on, Drake. I turned his scope on at 9 a.m. this morning, and I after I went to the bathroom, I went and I laid down, I rolled over, I put him over next to where I was sleeping and just was going back to sleep. I started cackling like a witch. I was laughing so hard. I'm sure I was half delirious from being kind of partially asleep, but I woke up completely. I was like, I can't sleep now because that was so hilarious. He's like, I wish I had images of pretzels to show you right now. And what was something else just killing me? Oh, the barns, because that's an inside joke for anyone who's been watching him for long enough. Whenever he does the bear, he talks about barns. That was the first night I ever met him. He was doing that, and I was like, barns? And I was posting gifs of barns, and I'm like, this guy's so weird and awesome, and I just love this. So then I'm hearing him talk about barns, and then he's doing the messages. That's what it was, the messages. That was killing me. You had a dream I was guiding you through meditation last night. Well, I did a guided meditation yesterday, so if you watch that, that makes sense. But maybe you're just telling the future. Hey, Salta, how are you today? So the messages when he was like, hey, Flash, this is Elise. I had a lot of fun going out with you last night, but I need to be straightforward. And then he's like, oh, sorry, you guys weren't supposed to hear that one. I meant to delete that one. Oh, God. And then one of them, he's like, I just realized sheds in our yard are like little barns. I mean, yes, yard sheds are little barns, yes. Dan, we totally just jinxed on that. Oh, my God, that had me dying. I sent that to Nick today, and he didn't get the reference. He was like, did Flash say that or something? He must have missed that part. I'm like, you didn't hear him say sheds are like little barns? Oh, you associate me with relaxation? Okay, fine. I'll be more relaxing right now. You were going to go to sleep and then Flash. Exactly. Exactly. Hi, Richie. I don't know what you mean, God. Hey, Susie. So we have Shavasana. Shavasana, or corpse pose, completes the cycle. The sun salutations have reset the muscle lengths in the brain and heated the body. The specific poses have lengthened the muscles surrounding the various joints, stimulating nerve conduction and illuminating the chakras. The inversions have reconnected us to the parasympathetic nervous system. Now we are ready for deep relaxation. Theta brainwave patterns predominate in Shavasana, with electrical activity oscillating and vibrating at a frequency of 4 to 8 hertz. Yes, exactly. You do have to nap. This state of brain function engages the intuitive unconscious mind, accessing deep-seated memories and connecting to the collective unconscious. Healing occurs in this state. Deeper states of Shavasana take the brainwave pattern into delta. This is the brainwave state of dreaming, which is 0.5 to 2 hertz. Oh yeah. We should totally. I think I'm gonna go to Montreal in like a week, and we should try to get him to do that. Like, come on, walk the streets with me with your mask on, because I don't want to hang out in his closet. It's a little weird. Just like, come on, just wear it outside. It's fine. Nobody will care. And we'll scope it. It'll be awesome. Then we can do group scope. All right. Anyway, back to this. Passively look inside during Shavasana and see the subtle energetic body, illustrated here, floating above the physical body. Exactly, South Jersey. Exactly. This image illustrates nerve conduction in the brain, where the electrical activity at the synaptic junctions where the neurons interact. This activity increases during yoga practice as consciousness of the body awakens. Yes, yoga can definitely help you sleep, and what we're going to do right now is a great way to demonstrate that. So I'm probably going to lose egg drop during this meditation, so I'll probably miss some comments, but that's okay. I still appreciate all of you for being here and giving me comments. I'm going to use my phone to keep track of time. Okay, all right, much love to you as well. So I'm going to lay on my back, and I'm going to use that pillow under my leg. So before you lay down, get a pillow for under your knees. Yes, meditation. The exactamundo. But if you're looking for more of the physical practice, I have been doing yoga the past few days on here, so you can check the replays. No, I have hiccups just in time for meditation. Perfect. Really relaxing, right? Relaxing hiccup sounds. And choking. Okay. Excuse me. All right. I'm just going to roll with it. All right, bye, dude. Thanks for being here. So the pillow under my knees is going to help my low back to not feel uncomfortable while I meditate. Palms are turned up to the sky. Take as much time as you need. Make any final adjustments you need to get really comfortable. Lots of space in the whole body. Release the muscles of the face. Feel the whole body is heavy. When the body feels relaxed, begin to take deep breaths into the belly, ribs, and chest, and exhale from the chest, ribs, and belly, finding Dirga Swasam breath. Take one last deep breath and let your breath return to its natural rhythm. Watch your breath flowing in and out naturally. Yesterday, we worked with balanced breathing. Today, we work with extended exhalations. Inhale, counting to 4 or 5. And exhale, counting to 8 or 10. You want your exhale to be twice as long as your inhale. The way I find easiest to do this is as you exhale, know that halfway through your count, you should still have half of your air. You may find that you can extend this maybe even to 6 and 12. You can go all the way up to 10 and 20. Take your time. You might even start with lower numbers like 3 and 6. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, and exhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're working on extending the exhale twice as long as the inhale. Keep your body completely relaxed with the exception of the breathing muscles. If you become lightheaded or dizzy or uncomfortable with this practice for any reason, you can just relax and let your breath return to its natural rhythm, watching the breath flow naturally. I'll remain silent for the remainder of the meditation, and it's normal for your mind to wander. Just keep bringing yourself back to counting the breath anytime you notice that your mind wandered or you drifted off to sleep. Just know that every time that happens, that's a victory. Every time you catch the attention wandering, you're getting that much better at controlling your mind's focus and what it focuses on. finish counting the breath that you're on, if your mind wandered, just bring it back to the breath. Do one more count, inhaling somewhere between 3 and 10, and exhaling between 6 and 20. And then let your breath return to its natural rhythm, bringing any movements to your body that feel good after that. Maybe bringing the knees into the chest, or stretching the body out long. Any movements that feel good for your body right here and right now. Don't worry about what anyone else is up to. And if you are laying down, you can come onto one side using your lower arm as a pillow to connect with your intentions for your yoga practice. The reason that you do your yoga or your meditation. When you're ready, you'll gently press yourself up. You can find a comfortable seated position, bringing your hands together at your heart center. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, bowing the chin to the chest, hands between the eyebrows, elbows together. Honor your own awesome, unique self, your own unique practice. And then bring the hands back to the heart center. Namaste. The divine light in me recognizes and honors the divine light in every single one of you. Thank you so much for being here. And 43 minutes. How you like that, Nick? So that marks 3 hours of content today, which is just what we do every single day on the Fem Yoga channel. We do 3 hours of content to increase people's positivity, to help them reach their health, wealth, and relationship goals. So if you want to get involved with that, you can learn more at femyoga.com. The link is in my bio. Thank you, Yvonne, for inviting your followers. I'm just about to end this broadcast. Hey, Katie. But I will be back tomorrow for 3 more hours of content. So I hope that you'll follow me and join me back tomorrow. Remember, you're all worthy of being loved and feeling comfortable in your own skin. This has been another moment in time with Taylor. I'm sorry, Katie. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you for caring that I leave. It makes me feel special, and you're special. Thank you. Bye.